Salatu wassalam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala amma ba'du. Then we have reached the 19th ayah from Surah al Mulk, where Allah has been informing us about those people who may feel safe from his punishment, feel safe from a storm with stones in it, or feel safe from being sunk into the earth and have the earth swallow them up. Here he says, أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا إِلَى الطَّيْرِ فَوْقَهُمْ صَافَّاتٍ وَيَقْبِضْنَ مَا يُمْسِكُهُنَّ إِلَّا الرَّحْمَنُ إِنَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ بَصِيرٌ. As we know, makes the sentence after it a question. Wa is and. Lam is the negation of the past tense. Yaro is to look. Yarona. Yarona with a noon, but because of lam, we drop the noon, as we will talk about briefly when we get into the grammar. Yaro meaning to see. Do they not see or look at? Ila, at or towards. At-tayr, the bird. Fawqahum, or at-tayr with alif lam could be birds, meaning the species in general. Fawqahum, above them. Saffati. Sad, fa is our root here. Saffati, meaning outspread, meaning having their wings outspread. Wa yaqbidn. Wa and yaqbidn from qaf ba dad, meaning to grasp or to bring them in. To bring them in or to close in. أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا إِلَى الطَّيْرِ فَوْقَهُمْ صَافَّاتٍ وَيَقْبِضْنَ. Or do they not look at, or did they not look at the birds above them with their wings outstretched and folding them in, bringing them in, closing them up? مَا يُمْسِكُهُنَّ إِلَّا الرَّحْمَنُ. Ma here is a negation. Yumsik from meme, sin, kaf, to hold on to something. Ma yumsikuhunna. Nothing holds them up. Illa Rahman. Nothing holds them, nothing carries them, nothing makes them fly. Illa Rahman, except Allah. Innahu, indeed he, bikulli, with every, shay'in, with everything, basir. Basir, seeing. He is all seeing of everything. أَلَمْ يَرَوْا إِلَى الطَّيْرِ فَوْقَهُمْ صَافَّاتٍ وَيَقْبِضْنَ مَا يُمْسِكُهُنَّ إِلَّا الرَّحْمَنُ إِنَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ بَصِيرٌ. أَوَلَمْ, do they not, يَرَوْا, look, إِلَى الطَّيْرِ, at the birds, فَوْقَهُمْ, above them, صَافَّاتٍ, with their wings outstretched, meaning outstretched. It doesn't say wings, but it's referring to their wings. وَيَقْبِضْنَ, and being folded in, and them folding them in. مَا يُمْسِكُهُنَّ إِلَّا الرَّحْمَنُ. Nothing holds them up, nothing has them in the air except Ar-Rahman. إِنَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ بَصِيرٌ. Indeed, he is with everything seeing. Inshallah, that's the meaning of the ayah. As for the grammar, then As we say always, is Hamzatul Istifham al-Inkari, a rhetorical question. Waw is harfu atf, and lam is a harfu nafi. It is a particle of negation. Wa jazm, making the verb after it majzoom. Wa qalb, because what comes after lam is a present tense verb, but the qalb of this harf, of this particle, turns it into a past tense meaning. Yaraw is fi'l mudari majzoom, and the sign of it being majzoom is the hadaf an-noon. The hadaf an-noon, yarawna. And an alif is placed in there to protect the waw. The waw inside of here is fi mahal raf fa'il. إلى حرف الجار. الطير اسم مجرور. فوقهم, فوق is a ظرف المكان, and the noun coming after it is مضاف إليه. So hum, even though it is a damir muttasil, an attached pronoun, mabni ala sukun, it is in a position of being majroor fi mahal al-jar, because it is mudaf ilayh. Safatin is the hal of the tayr. The hal mansub. The hal of the tayr, how is it? With their arms outspread, their wings outspread. Wa yaqbidn, waw is harfu atf. Yaqbidn is a verb, but it is ma'tuf ala safat, as we'll talk about inshallah with the tafsir. Yaqbidn comes from qaf ba dad, meaning to grasp or take hold of, to close in on. So safat, their wings are outspread, and yaqbidn, they fold them in. Yaqbidn is a في المضارع مبني على سكون لاتصاله بنون الإناث or نون النسوة, right? And the noon here is في محل رفع فاعل. يمسكهن, يمسكهن, or ما يمسكهن. ما here is ما النافية or negation. يمسك, يمسك is a fi'l mudari marfu wa alamat rafihi ad-dhamma. Hunna, the ha here is fi mahal an-nasb, maf'ulun bihi. Yumsiku what? Right? What does ar-Rahman yumsik? Yumsik hunna. So the ha here is fi mahal an-nasb, maf'ulun bihi. In the meme, as we always are here, the noon is the noon al-inath. The noon inath. Illa is adat al-hasr, meaning it limits, meaning except. Ar-Rahman is the fa'il marfu' alamatu raf'i ad-dhamma zahira. Innahu, inna is harf nasikh, and ha is fi mahal nasb ismu inna. Bi kulli, ba is harf jar, kulli is ismu majroor, shay, in is mudaf ilay majroor. Basir is khabar marfu', khabaru inna. إنه بصير بكل شيء. بصير is خبر إن مرفوع. طيب, that's the Arabic grammar there. Now, if we look at the tafsir, and we find some interesting points from the way Allah mentioned this. Firstly, in the previous ayat, Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned hasiba, and he mentioned that the earth could yakhsifu bikum, it could swallow you up, and or he could yursila alaykum hasiba, he could send down upon you a storm of rocks and stones. So all this plays a part. All this plays. If you think resurrection is strange, right? You think that Allah cannot recreate you, right? Then look at the bird. The bird is one of the most amazing creations of Allah Azza wa Jal. All other animals walk on the earth. All other animals walk on the earth. The birds walk on the earth too. But when they will, they can fly with the permission of Ar-Rahman. When they will, they can fly. So Allah Azza wa Jal, He just got through telling us that He could have the earth swallow us up, or He could send down upon us a storm of stones. So He is calling to our attention the bird and its creation. How their gods, their false gods, are incapable of creating anything like this. Nor do they themselves float in the sky. Right? Rather, they're stuck there as like stumps on the earth. And when Allah mentioned the earth which we are on, and He shows the birds who are not sucked down into the earth like us if we are arrogant, if Allah wants to. Rather, they have the ability to fly. Also, when He mentions the stones in the storm, and then He mentions the bird right after that, then this is to remind the Quraysh of what happened in Am al-Fil, in the year of the elephant, when Abraha, or if that is his name correctly in the Sirah, as there's some doubt regarding that being his name for sure, when he came to try, then Allah sent the birds with rocks, a storm, as if a storm of birds with rocks throwing down upon them. So Allah is reminding the Quraysh, who could be, or who were at that time not listening to the Prophet ﷺ and denying him. Allah says, أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا إِلَى الطَّيْرِ فَوْقَهُمْ صَافَاتٍ وَيَقْبِضْنَ. Do not these mushrikun, these polytheists, mukaththibun, those who deny, look at the birds and how they fly above them in the air, spreading out their wings most of the time. That's why when He described the birds here, He used here, this is a noun. Safat is a noun, right? وَيَقْبِضْنَ is a verb. So He described the birds first with the noun, which is their wings are outspread, because this is the norm. The norm when birds fly, they fly with their wings outstretched. Right? So that is a sifa, that is an attribute which belongs to them. Whereas yaqbidn, this is something that happens time after time after time. They flap them out, which is the norm, and then they close them. And then they open and close, open and close. But the norm is they're out. So while they're flying in the sky, their wings are normally out. And then they may close them from time to time. So He uses a noun to describe them, safat, right? And He didn't say qabidat or something like this, meaning that that they also have them withheld or withdrawn. No, because the withdrawing of the wings is the exception to the rule. Right? So Allah mentions these birds, and ma yumsikuhunna illa ar-Rahman, that no one holds them up in the sky, no one keeps them from falling down except Ar-Rahman. And the scholars say, some of them, that they used Ar-Rahman here, Allah used Ar-Rahman to remind the Quraysh who denied this name. They used to deny the name Ar-Rahman. So Allah used this name Ar-Rahman here to remind them that this is who their Lord is. Innahu bi kulli shay'in basir. Indeed, Allah is all seeing of all of His creation, and everything is under His management and His arranging of affairs, and falls under His wisdom. Let's see what we can see here. Here's a latifa, that is mentioned, and it comes from Majmu' Fatawa of Ibn Taymiyyah, whereas Allah Azza wa Jal, He says, أولم يروا إلى الطير فوقهم صافات ويقبضن ما يمسكهن إلا الرحمن. Then there's a question. Does this ayah show that the actions are done by choice? The actions of a person are done by choice, that they are the actions which a human being does by choice are the creation of Allah, meaning Allah created you and what you do, meaning your actions, which are your choice, are at the same time the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal. So your actions, your choices are your choices, they're your actions. At the same time, Allah Azza wa Jal created them. He said, yes, that is because the bird, right, even though they flap their wings and they stretch them out and then they flap them and close them in and stretch them out, it's only Allah. So this is a choice the bird makes, but it's only Allah Azza wa Jal who keeps them afloat. So that's a nice point, refuting the people who have doubt regarding al-qadr. طيب. Inshallah, we'll conclude with that, and then we will come back tomorrow with the 20th ayah bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.